I say we do.
And then like this. Okay. So here's the other thing. This is the molded. Hey everyone, I'm excited to be here for our Thursday in the Rhonda Shear Studios. We're going to talk all things redo your intimate drawer. Everything we're going to talk about is back to basics. It is going to clean out those items because this is true. 1 hour girl talk. I like that we're a little later in the day so we can get home from that day of work that I'm sure you all wore that bra that you didn't like, you took off on their way home, or as soon as you got home, you could not wait to take it off. So we all have those drawers. So Rhonda set out 23 years ago, and 23 years ago, after 20 years of being in Hollywood, so that's a long lifetime, she was in her 40s. She said, I have to figure out a better way for women to shop for bras and panties. After years of being in Hollywood on a very famous show called Up All Night, she would wear lingerie that was ill-fitting, made for men, and truly, even the ones that were designed by women for women did not understand how the women's body worked. We go up and down. So the first one we want to talk about is really what put Rhonda on the map. It epitomizes her Hollywood lifestyle, her up all night nod to old Hollywood. This is the pinup bra. If you've ever truly wanted to try a bra that's going to be the most like what you might have right now in your drawer, a traditional bra. It has the lace, it has the details, everything about what you want in that very big box department store. Go upstairs, usually by the restroom, and you go and buy one of those bras that are so expensive, but you have to know what your size is. You have to understand how to measure. You have to know what your cup size, but Rhonda took that out because she made every one of her bras extra small to 3X. You just have to shop your top. And when we're talking about what that word means or what that little statement means, I'm a large all the time. I can wear a large in every style, in every way, because Rhonda also, when I wear tops, I'm also a large in Rhonda Shear. So this is going to be one of those bras that you put on and you truly feel where her bras are different. You have coverage under your arms. You're not going to have these pockets of spillage. You're not going to have these tiny little sides where you get spillage on the top and on the bottom. Not that going to have that tiny little area. So when it gets tinier around your band, you start spilling forward. That's what truly has revolutionized why not only the fit of Rhonda's is perfect, it's the way she constructs her bras. The side panels are wide. 90% of your support should come from your band. Think about that. Just think about that for 1 second, because I know when I went to stores, I've been in 6 states in like 4 weeks. And so I go to these stores, I go to boutiques, high-end stores, everything. Normal bras will only be 2 inches up to maybe a C, like a modest C. 3 fingers wide on the sides, as if you were like a double D and going into maybe sometimes the highest that department store asks for. Ours is all the way. It is a full hand of support. You're getting the under bust support. So right under here where your breast tissue starts to migrate, it kind of goes under. You get the lift without the underwire. You get the smoothing of the sides. You get that bra bulge coverage, wide straps. But then this is why it's different. Smoothing out the back. And this is one of the bras that Rhonda Shear started. You cannot find, and when I tell you, find a bra, then I'm going to turn this, I'm going to actually, while this is on the back, I'm going to show you this one. Look at this bra. Look what you're getting. The 4-way stretch lace around the neckline. I forever am wearing my whites, my blacks, my pops of color pinup bra as a cami. Let that poke out. Let that fill in that décolleté space. Let it fill in where you might feel a little bit more crepey, because, you know, as we age, not only do our breast tissue migrate, you get that little bit of, I know I get some sunspots here. I get some crepiness in between my chest, wrinkles. You don't like this, but sometimes I love a good dress, but it just cuts me so low because I'm heavier busted. This will fill in that space. And imagine if you grab this black one, black. Black is day in, day out. I will tell you, the black one truly is going to fill in that space for you. Be that solution. Not only is it going to make you feel better when you put it on, because look at the stretch. I'm going to use this. I think that this is our sienna, the stretch. When have you ever seen stretch in a bra? Usually it's like this, and it doesn't go anywhere. Only thing that is in the back, but that's creating tension on your back. Rhonda's bras will stretch on the front, on the back. They're going to stretch 360 around you. You're going to have those top loading. And for my beautiful tech team, I don't even know where I'm at over here, but this is going to be the pad that comes with every one of your Rhonda Shear pinup bras. Dyed to match, full coverage, full pocket and full coverage, open pocket. So if you are a prosthesis wearer, or if you have to double up, we give you the most open pocket of any other brand that is in the intimate space from top to bottom. We go and we make sure the things that we do are specific and they're purposeful. We do this because we have so many amazing friends of the Rhonda Shear Intimates that buy from our boutiques that are for mastectomy, the ones that are actually there to provide a service during those challenging times of augmentations, reductions, or breast, anything you need. But there's always that bottom line that we want to do. We always want to come back to being still a woman and being feminine. So this product right here, the pinup, it is going to make sure you have just that. So when you get into those more personal times, if you do need to have this pad, you kind of see this pocket. This pocket is very generous, but inside also, I want to point out, it is the softest against your skin. Tactile issues become problematic as you get older. You don't like the way things feel. You don't like the way things cling to you. I feel like we kind of almost, I remember having when I would babysit a lot as a kid, my one little cousin would say, I don't like the way something, and she would call it tickle, but she would say, it tickles me. It tickles my stomach. Or my other little cousin I would babysit did not like the seam on the toe panel of socks. Guess what? As we get older and as we can make choices for ourselves and not feel that we're limited to wearing just what's out there, you'll fall in love with Rhonda Shear's bras because you can finally feel comfortable. You can feel confident, comfortable, lifted. You're not going to feel like, when I get home and I take this off, I'm going to have what we call wardrobe wounds, those red straps that are digging into your shoulders, digging in under your bust. You've been picking and pulling. That's not going to happen with Rhonda Shear. So when you go, and again, our story for the hour is all about refreshing that intimate drawer, because we're going to give you the 5. There's 5. I can get them under 5. Sometimes I throw in a 6 or 7, but today I'm going to do it at 5. Just trust the process and take away those old ones. We all know we have them. If you're like I am, they used to fall behind, and then forever I would never be able to shut my drawer because it would be something's falling down. You bought a bra for $80, $90. You kept it because you felt guilty, but it didn't work. It didn't fit. It doesn't give the girls the lift. It doesn't double as a cami. The Rhonda Shear pinup bra will be the bra that you want in your arsenal, and trust that this bra has been in our collection since the beginning. So 23 years of selling bras and panties on a platform like a shopping channel is quite amazing, because you don't get to touch it. You have to trust the person that's delivering it. And I had the honor of meeting Rhonda over 20 years ago because I was already a fan of the original bra, but I have learned to love and embrace the pinup so much. So please at least try the black. Let that little bit peek out. And while we're talking about this, there's not really a good pinup bra without a pinup panty. So when we do this, I want to also kind of bring in the sister piece the matching piece to this. You can always wear these separate, but there is just something so gorgeous when you're able to find a beautiful, sexy brief and a panty that has a fully lined cotton gusset, full coverage, slims you out, goes all the way past the natural waist, gives you double panty control, double tummy control with that double panel right there. But the magic is this: when you turn these around and you truly see these little bit of a ruching that goes down the middle of the tush. That is an old Hollywood secret that gives you that BBL without needing that BBL. If you're like I am, I have a lot in the front. I have a full chest, but I do not have a full backside. So when I wear this, I know it's going to lift me up. It's going to support me. It's going to smooth all my sides. Everything's going to be smooth. I'm going to have that tummy control. I'm going to have that tush lift in the back. But look at that little bit of lace. Around the leg line, you have an inner thigh protection. Who doesn't? I don't care if you're an extra small or the tiniest person. When you sit down at a wrought iron chair to have a cup of coffee, when you are at having a little coffee with the friends at a garden party, and you go to stand up, and if you don't have that inner thigh protection, as skinny as your legs are, your inner thighs are now stuck together. You feel uncomfortable. You get that chafing. You get that. But when you buy a Rhonda Shear, these are what we call these are our pinup panties. They're pinup panties. They're more of a tap length. So what that means is you're getting that little bit of extension, that little bit of a higher waist, the full coverage, derriere, tush lift, everything. When you marry these two pieces back under your clothes, you're creating the most important foundation. I love this show. When have you ever seen a little spot for your tush? That's not shapewear. This is I would say, just like their original Abra, there are, I would say, close to millions of women who wear the pinup as their everyday. This is not just for special occasions. As pretty as it looks, as pretty as the pinup bra looks right here, you are going to get something that is going to create the smooth foundation. You actually will have, when you get dressed and you have the right foundation, clothes fit better. Because I can tell you, I have been probably every size under the sun over years, and all those times, what I don't like about when I used to put, you'd have a lump. You would put your underwear would be here, your bra would be here. It was digging in a little, so you didn't have that smooth foundation. So then you put a t-shirt on, and then it was clinging, or then you put something else on, and you have all these lumps and bumps, and now you've created seams at your hip, seams at your waist, seams under your bust, digging in here, digging in here. But when you try the Rhonda Shear Pin Up collection, think about how much smoothing and comforting and just the sheer amount of coverage it gives you, but you will never feel hot. That's one thing I know. Oh my goodness, I don't want to wear a topper, or I don't want to wear other things because it's too hot for me. Just because you're getting a wider size does not mean that Rhonda did not put the thought into breathable fabric. Everything inside of that pinup bra, cotton, moisture wicking, no more boob sweat, smoothing you out. Nothing's going to dig. Nothing's going to feel, because I have been hot and sweaty. We live here in Florida, hot and sweaty with a very digging in underwire before, and you go to pull it out and it just feels relief until you have to let it go and it snaps back to you because it's not meant to move with your body. The Rhonda Shear Pinup, both the panties and the bra, move with you. And I also always want to point out this part. I don't know if we can get it. There's no adjustable straps, but what there is inside of here, if I flip it inside, there, look, who does a adjustable stretch band inside of the actual, this is your strap. This is your strap. Look at that. So when you lean forward or you bend, it's not digging in. Your traditional bra will stay. Your traditional bra will not give you this stretch. Your traditional bra will not have all these details. When you truly get home, this is one of the ones that still amazes me, because we may have been doing this pinup bra and the pinup panty since Rhonda started 23 years ago. But what we didn't do is stop with the technology. Every time there is a new lace, every time there is a new construction, the inner band has widened on the tummy to give you more support. We flip this inside out. You're getting a fully lined panel front to that. You're going to have all that full panel, right? That full panel right there. That's going to give you double layer, not too much tummy control, but support. It's smooth when you smooth everything out, but then you have the nice wide cotton moisture wicking gusset that is right there, fully wide. There's a lot of times when you get those panties, it's not a full gusset. It's not wide. It is creeping in. The lace starts touching your most intimate areas. It feels sweaty. It feels uncomfortable. And please, when I get in the car nowadays, it's like 110. I want something that's going to pull and wick that moisture away from my body and not compress me in. So this is the inside. So when you get these home, this is that pinup panty. The pinup, this is like what we call our pinup panty, a little tap length. But you can also see that inside of that ruched derriere. That's not going to go in your tush. That's not going to feel like a thong. Nothing is going to do that. But you can see the magic that happens. It gives you a lift. I guess I will attest, I'm a pancake bottom, meaning like my kids say, it goes straight from my back, straight down. What I need a lift. But when I put these on, it lifts me. It smooths my body. This is going to be that perfect foundation. Pinup bra, grab the pinup brief. I know we kind of talked about these simultaneously because truly when you marry these two up together, you'll realize how many millions have sold and why. Because it gives you all of that. And, the pads alone, I think we're dealing with everything seems to be consistently being under $30. To get something like this is like going to that expensive, not even the mall stores, the one at the end that's at the big mall where you have to go. I used to have to go on bus trips to go to the mall. And because I lived in such a rural town, but those big stores, you'd see them. It's the upstairs had the intimates and had the round tables where a brief itself was $35. Even when I was a kid, you will not see that here with anything from a bra to the briefs to any of Rhonda Shear's because it's meant to be, we want your drawer to be, get rid of the old. We're going back to school. We're not really spring cleaning. I think right now we're just purging of all the excess that we have that we're not wearing, we're not using, and feeling comfortable. I mean, if you're like I am, I have twin daughters that are going into 8th grade, and it's okay to write here and say, I feel sorry for you. That's okay. Or just give me a heart because it makes me feel better. It's trying. I don't want to fight with my bra when I have to fight to get everybody out after a long summer of having a great time. Why not put a bra on or in a panty that you feel comfortable? You're sitting in that car line or you're going back to work because the summer for you might be over. You don't want to feel uncomfortable. So this is all about taking what's in that drawer, taking a look at it, and realize, I know I keep this bra because I paid too much for it, but it's never fit. It's okay. Get rid of it. You have to just purge things to get room for the new. And one thing about Rhonda Shear, I also want to point out, I always like to do this because it doesn't take up that much real estate. So this is that molded cup with the 2 pads. So I want to show, this is not taking up real estate. I can crunch this all up. You could ball this all up like this. If you're packing it, when you're packing anything, and it just comes right back to where it is. So a lot of bras, it's like, okay, I don't have the room. I don't have the space. You have space for this. And then if you add that little panty on top of it, and I like to pack mine like this, tuck it right in here. You have like the perfect little, like the set. If you get a set, when you wake up in the morning and you're able to wear your bra and panty that matches, I think your day is going to be impressive because it really is. It's so hard to be able to have matching sets, and that's not something I ever set out to try to do because I just thought that is unattainable with my life and my kids and my busy schedule. But when I can do it with Rhonda Shear, it makes sense. So even if you might never have tried the pinup, but you've tried the bra, shop your top. Whatever you are, and maybe a molded cup or maybe a bra, just shop the same size because you're not going to go wrong. Every one of Rhonda's styles and sizes fit exactly the same. So you never have to worry about if you've bought a gel bra from us or you bought maybe a molded cup. Every one will fit the same. But I think there's a reason for each one of these things that are out there. That's why this is called Refresh and get rid of the old out of that intimate drawer. So this is the pinup. We'll come back to this. This is something that I definitely think you will love this in your drawer, and it will help you a lot. And let me just show you how sexy this black one is before we move on. I know it's hard to see sometimes with black, but if you could see this set, it has that beautiful lace detail that is all four-way stretch lace. Nothing's going to dig into you. You have this gorgeous tap length. So I'd say, even if for nothing else, grab yourself the black and grab the beige, because beige works through anything. Black works on everything. And always remember, keep it out. If you want to, make sure you have a little bit peeking out, because it's okay to do that. So we're going to move on to this one, because if you have any questions, please always ask. I mean, I know I try to not talk too fast. I know I talk too fast. When you're excited about something, it kind of is like, it's something you talk about. But that's been my thing for a long time. I talk too fast. Well, but actually I watch Rhonda sometimes and I'm like, wait, she talks faster than I do. But this is the pinup collection. But I don't think that we would be remiss if we did not go straight into the original, because this is one that I think it's time to, if you have never bought an original Rhonda Shear bra, if we can't talk about refresh your intimate drawer without showing you the original. This is the original bra. This is seamless technology. Rhonda set out 23 years ago to figure out a way for women to shop for bras without having to know their measurements, without having to know their cup size. Because as women, we go up and down in size 5 to 7 pounds in a week, sometimes in a day. When you start your day off and your bra might fit, and then you get in your car and you're like, okay, why doesn't this fit me anymore? Because we're naturally retaining water. We're human. We're meant to have something that should stretch. They made us have these kind of like corsety structured items. They're stretching your jeans. They're stretching your shoes now. Why in the world would we not have a little bit of forgiveness and flex in our bra? So all you have to do is choose between extra small to 3X, 1, 2, and so it's extra small to 1X, I should say, extra large, because it throws people off a little bit, but then you have those pluses of the 1X, 2X, 3X. But this is going to fit you. It doesn't matter what your cup is. It doesn't matter. What matters is what top size you wear. If you are all day long an extra large, go with the extra large. But guess what? Even if they didn't have your right color, you can go to the 1X. There's so much forgiveness and recovery. I wear this in a large, and I'm a large all day long. But I will tell you, there's times if I want to double it up, I could wear 2 larges. Or if I want to more relax, I could wear an extra large, because there is always the overlap, just because we don't know. We're never going to be exact, and it doesn't jump into the next one. You have to have that overlap, and that's what so many brands don't. You might fall in between, because that's where you're left wondering why you have all these ill-fitting bras in your intimate drawer, because they forgot the in-between. They forgot the overlap. So with Rhonda Shear, extra small to 3X, you're not going to ever have to worry about something that has to be so precise, because we go up and down. You throw this on. This is the single layer bra. This is the original. So to give you a history of seamless, which is founded by Rhonda, you see a lot of competition out there now that does seamless. 80 million sold of a single bra in 35 countries. And that was back in 2011, because my daughters were born that year. And that's when I first came to start working with Rhonda. Think about how many we've sold since in our 4-packs, our 3-packs, our singles. Every time we talk about this, well over 80 million in 35 countries sold. But this is seamless technology. You might see it with other social media brands and social media pop-ups, because that is exactly what they all do. When you have something that's really exceptional, that's going to give you lift, support, people want to interpret and kind of knock you off, so to speak. But you know what's going to be different about Rhonda Shears? I have some that are 15 years old. They do not wear out. We shop all of the other competition that you see on social. You see it on TikTok shops. You see it on all these platforms. They're putting fruit in it. They're like, it can hold us all up. What it's not doing is giving you the foundational construction. Look at how skinny the straps are. Look at how much it cuts you on the sides. This has so much different technology, even though traditionally it's seamless. Theirs are seamless, ours are seamless. But what Rhonda did, you have the underband. Wide, smoothing, lifts your bust without underwire. You see the tension built in the weave of that it's like a Santoni machine, which is, it's a cylinder machine. It goes in a cylinder, so you're never going to have any underwire, no side boning, wide sides. Rhonda's very conscious of always making sure you're getting that coverage. No one's going to have bra bulge in a Rhonda Shear bra, especially not an bra. It's keeping you all contained, making sure your bust is making that shape. You're going to go to the wide sides. The side is going to smooth everything. And here's when you get this home, you'll feel there's slight more tension in the side. Not scratchy, not hard, not firming, but that's where you can see you have a space for your breasts, call them a little nest for your breasts, so your body will make this shape. So even if you have, we are not symmetrical, gals. No one's symmetrical. So if you have one bust that's larger than the other, you don't have to worry. Your body is going to make the shape of this. It's very easy. You wear the bra is not wearing you. Smooths out the sides. And this is what really changed, because this was not happening 23 years ago in any fabrication. When Rhonda found seamless, it was a little piece of fabric. It was like a little tiny piece of fabric. And it was shown to her as from a little tiny company out of Canada. And it said, okay, she's like, well, could I make this into a bra? And they thought, oh, well, it's a programmable machine. We're talking 23 years ago. That's how the birth of a seamless bra happened, and basically all the other imposters that are out there, because Rhonda said, okay, if you can program something in there to give me the tension where I want, give me the under support, give me the smooth, give me the area for my breast to project and actually fill in that space, that's what I want. This could be the answer. And truly, it was one of those aha moments. It's like those American dream moments that truly was like, she thought this is going to be what's going to change it. And that's why 80 million were sold in 35 countries in that 1 year. Bra awards, amazing awards. I got to be part of the team back in 2011 and 2012 when all of this came out. And she had already been doing it for many years, but she found it how seamless works. Now you see it in athleisure wear. You see it in almost everything that's out there. But, you have to give credit from the original, the woman that did it first, and the woman that I will tell you, when you wash this, it's not going to snap, crackle, and pop. I do a lot of competitive shopping. I've ordered a lot recently in the sets and things that you have, and I see them out there. The first thing I do, put them on, it snaps. You can hear all the threads snapping because it looks good in theory, but it's not sewn the way when you get Rhonda Shear's home. You'll see the way that it's stitched around the arms, because it comes out in a tube, but you have to cut the neckline and you have to cut the arm area. But how that is stitched to make sure it still has that same seamless feeling, there's nothing like this. So this is going to be that original single layer. All these things are meant today. Every piece that we're showing you is meant for you to refresh that intimate drawer. Find something that fits you. Find something to wear. This is one that I trust the process. It's going to give you a lift subtly. So if you have never tried, if you're the one that still rips off that bra, you get out of the car and you're like, I can't wait. But as we age, we drag, we sag, we start to have a little bit of drooping. We call it a little bit of like Snoopy ear effect, where you start losing your volume here. You need something that's going to hold you a little bit. This is my little bit of hold. This is my anti-sag bra. I've worn this for over 20 years because I've known Rhonda that long, and I wore this before I even got to meet Rhonda. This has kept my girls that are very heavy lifted. I still say the volume that I have is because I wear this. I get out of the shower, I wear this. I wear it around the house. I run errands in it. I go take the dogs for a walk. But if I just want a little more lift, put another one on. Just add another layer, because that's truly where our generation 2 bra came from, because it's a double layer. So it really is, if you haven't tried that original bra, try it right now, because this will change the way you feel. And I also think this is great for, the teens going back to school. They might need something. They're sleeping over at their friend's house, and you're like, okay, you don't want to sleep in a bra. I teach my daughters this all the time, but they're like, well, you sleep in one. I'm like, nope, I sleep in an bra. That's not necessarily the same as a bra, because this is comfortable. I don't have my anything being constricted. So this is going to be that one for them. And especially if you have anyone going into college, they got to walk, they have dorms, they're hanging out in their dorm room, they're going to the shower. They want a little bit of modesty. You want a little lift. So you think about all those ages, and I'm going to jump ahead to my mother, who just retired after 40 years of being a nurse. Only thing, she's small busted, the only thing she ever wore under her scrubs was an bra. The most comfortable thing, because she knew she could trust the support. And now it's in her arsenal all the time. She wears the double layer. She wears the single layer to sleep. But then we have my grandmother in her 90s, my lovely grandmother and all her friends in their 90s. This has given them their dignity back. The ladies, the nurses come to me and say, thank you for bringing these, because a lot of the ladies would like to still wear a bra, but it's sometimes challenging with dexterity issues to get a traditional bra on. So when you have a seamless bra like Rhonda's, you have four-way stretch. Nothing is going to dig in. Nothing is going to be ouchy on their shoulders. As we age, our skin gets thinner, it gets more, it gets very fragile. It's delicate. You see so many times you might say, get a scratch or things like that as you get a little older, but you want to have that modesty. You want to have the lift and support. But you know what? I still want to feel, listen, just because I might be, a little bit older, it doesn't mean I don't want to have that same lift and support as I'm going down to play cards with my friends. So we're going to take what's the next peek? We're going to do another really fun peek at something else that's so important to your wardrobe, is a strapless bra. When we think about bras, they're always uncomfortable. We've talked about pinup. We've talked about the single layer bra. But there's one thing that has always been like the worst. I talk to so many women. Bra shopping is the worst, but strapless bra shopping takes it to a new level. So we're going to change the way you think about that. And I honestly feel like even if you don't need this right now, this is one you put in your wardrobe, and you put it in that intimate, and I keep calling wardrobe because you should have an intimate apparel wardrobe. You should have this. And my favorite part is, like, before I even put this on, I don't know if I can see it on this side right here. I want you to see how flat this is. Most of our strapless bras are thick, they're chunky, they're big, they're molded, they're overpowering. They cost $70+ and you don't need it. You're like, I don't want to buy that shirt on sale just because I have to go buy. I might find a shirt for $20 on sale, but then I have to go buy a $70 bra that never fits me. I hate strapless. This strapless bra, the original Rhonda Shear bando bra with underwire, will change the way you feel about strapless. So I'm putting it on. Look, I just went straight down, straight over, and under. So this bra, 3 years running, Cosmopolitan, with over 2,000 submissions in strapless bras. When you really can see that there's that many people that are truly submitting and thinking they have the best one, and you win that award, when you truly win that award for best strapless bra that holds up to a 3X, and a 3X is a very heavier bust. So when you do this, it's going to hug, because it's that seamless technology. It's smoothing. It's not compressing. It's giving you the hug that you need. It's giving you the lift and the support. But the best part about this is you can modify this. It's a flat, wide strap, but if you have something that's a little lower in the back, look, nothing up here went down. It still stays up. I can pull this back up, and you can have more of a tube top type style, but you're not going to have that Tootsie Roll effect. You're never going to have that uniboob, because you have that built-in separation and tension from the Santoni machine. But what we did do with this one is we added the underwire. But what makes the way we add underwire different is we start about 2 inches under your armpit and 2 inches inside your bust. So this right here, here's my finger, since it's black, that underwire doesn't start till there. That's why traditional underwire or traditional strapless bras with wire poke you, because there's no need for that wire to come on. You just need a little oomph under the bust. You don't need it to come under your armpits here. So that's why it starts. So the underwire doesn't start till right about here, but it's not necessary to have it up there. That's why, because as we move and flex, our arms are going to go up and down. That is going to constantly ram into you. I have had situations recently where I've been wearing competitors' bras and I was bending down to get the laundry out of the dryer, and I felt like I was getting stabbed. Like, I'm like, oh, it popped out and it stabbed me. So we all have those feelings of like when it stabs you, when it feels uncomfortable. This is not going to happen. You have the underwire that goes under your bust right to here. Then you have the smoothing of the front of it. You're going to have all of the stretch and recovery. So I'm going to also take this one off because I want to show you, make sure we have everything about this you can see, because it's a stretch. Everything's a stretch. So it's like a cylinder. Look, I can go all the way around. That's what's going to hug you all the way around your body. You're going to have nothing that is problematic. You're not going to have those scenarios where you're constantly lifting it up. We've all been to those, those parties. If you're like I am, I love a good dance party. Take the shoes off, they hurt. But what you see at those receptions is all of the bridesmaids or all the mothers of brides that want to dance, but they're pulling it up. They're pulling it up because they're not having support around the sides. That's why when you see this, it is 360, the same width all the way around, because it's giving you that hug. It's hugging your body. It's not drooping in the back so you spill forward. It's not giving you too much tension in the sides that you're spilling out. One side's gaping, one side's not, because we're not symmetrical. Those other bras do not work. So when you think of strapless, when you truly think of anything that is going to give you that open shoulder, I don't care if it's strapless. I'm not a strapless gal because I don't want my shoulders up, but I love an off the shoulder top. There's nothing better than you have a top that's like a boat neck or an off the shoulder top. This is the most sexy area, up to 5X, 7X, whatever bigger you are, smaller you are. This is the old truth. Do an off the shoulder top, just scoot it down, or one shoulder, bring all the attention to your face, great makeup, have some jewelry. Rest assured that you're going to have this. So when I say strapless, this bra doesn't have strapless, but I'm not a strapless dress wearer. I wear strapless bras because I love the off the shoulder tops. I like one shoulder, or I like the look of having, even if I put a little bolero over something, just I don't want to show my arms, but you don't want to see your bra hanging out here. So I might wear a strapless dress, put this on, but I'm always going to wear a topper. That's just how I am. I'm always going to be wearing a topper. So you're not seeing me out there in a strapless dress with this, but I'm going to wear the strapless bra because I want nothing to dig in. I want nothing to be seen if my bolero goes a little over or I have off the shoulder tops. This is truly one that I encourage you. Everything we're talking about today is update your intimate drawer with the foundations that work. Even if it's hard for you to get rid of all of them, put them in a bag. Put them in a bag beside, put them in a bag under your clothes that's my secret spot. If I want to just ride it out and see if I'm going to I might want to wear something later, I put it in a bag and put it under my closet and hide it in the corner. And if I remember it's there, then I must have wanted to keep it. But if not, take all your other intimates out of your drawer, refresh, and have pieces that will work for you, not against you. Get dressed every morning with the pinup, with the bra. I'm going to show you the pinup one more time because I think it's so important. It's going to go down here for a second. And if I had better knees, I'd do the walk thing where you look like you're shorter, but my knees. Somebody told me to be. There's a lot of lightning here today. We have a lot of afternoon storms in the Florida area. So if you hear that, it's not the building falling down. It's just us having a great rainfall that we need because it is hot here and those plants need some watering. So just like they need something, you need something. Pinup bra is a guaranteed best way to start your journey with Rhonda Shear Intimates. This is the pinup. You have that four-way stretch lace, wide straps, wide sides. Don't be afraid of showing this lace because it doubles as a cami. You have those top loading, removable dyed to match pads. This is how big those pads are. That's a full pad. It's not just going to give you that little tiny nipple cover, that little tiny thing that starts floating inside that pocket. This fills that pocket, and better yet, and we give you a space for that pocket. You're not going to have to roll this up and having to, it's almost like the rethreading old school hoodies. That's not what you're going to do when you have when you're reloading your pads to your Rhonda Shear bra. Trust that you are not going to have to sit there and be like with a pin and needle and try to figure out that way. That's kind of how I was taught to rethread something. It's that easy. You can take it out. It's double layered without the pad. You have the smoothing underband that's giving you the lift, smoothing that section of your body that gets a little bit of bulge right here, a little bit of, under bust, as we age, breast tissue kind of migrates. We want to lift it up. No underwire, but the reinforcement. The sides are smooth, wide sides, and then the back smoothing. This is truly what sets Rhonda apart from other bras is you want to have this smoothing. You want to have this much support from 90% of your underband. That's where your support should come from. So if you're like I was growing up, I always saw my grandmother, she was a larger gal, and I always saw her in what I now know as ill-fitting bras. They were digging into her shoulders. She'd have red marks. And she was always well dressed. She would swear dances. She wore fancy clothes. She always had all her foundation pieces from the most expensive places. But I always see these divots, like these arms, something that's pulling so hard on her shoulders because she was using so much pressure of the shoulder strap to lift a heavy bust. That's not the way it's supposed to happen. You are supposed to have all of this smoothing you out because that's what lifts you up. If not, that's why your shoulders dig. That's why you get the divots. That should not happen. If you are wearing the proper fitting bra, all the support should come from your underband, at least not. Yes, the strap is meant to go give the girls a little extra lift here or give them a little smoothing. And you can always adjust them when we have adjustable strap bras. But truly, you should have all your support coming from underneath. So pinup is a definite must. And as we round that one out, just recapping what we've been talking about, you need to grab the briefs. The pin-up briefs are truly iconic. This is really, you see the backside of this. You see that ruching. I mean, this ruching looks like you're buying expensive lingerie. Yes, it is made in an expensive lingerie factory, but what Rhonda does is she's been doing this for so long, she makes sure she gets the top of the line that you don't have to worry about. You have the smoothing panel, you have the in between the thigh, anti-chafing, full gusset, you're good to go. Yep, so this is good. This is a great one. Grab this one because I hate ever talk. I feel sad. It's kind of like me with my twins. I feel like with my twin daughters. If I can't talk about the pinup bra without talking about that pinup brief. They just marry so well together. And even if they don't match, there's a reason to have these in your drawer. So as we go on to the next one real quick, because this is our pinup, classic Rhonda, old Hollywood. Then you have to get your bra. This is the one that originally changed the way we think about shopping for seamless because there is still sewing construction on our pinup. Yeah, we have to because that's the gorgeousness of that lace and that natural four-way stretch fibers. But this is 100% seamless. This one is going to give you all of the support, all of the smoothing, but it's that single layer seamless construction. Stretchy, four-way stretch, gives you the shape for your bust. Underband is all done with tension. So you get the lift, the smoothing, the support, coverage on the underarms right here, those pockets we all hate. It covers that, smooths you out on the sides all the way to the back. This is that original 80 million sold in 35 countries. And I don't know why we don't haven't updated that, because that was in 2011. So I know we've had even more. But the last but not least, before we go, because I want to make sure you have something essential in your drawer for every single occasion, I want to just go real quickly back to that bando. This is not just for strapless bras. Think about this for off the shoulder bras. This is that seamless, award winning, 3 years and counting, 20 plus submissions to Cosmo Magazine. They pick us. They call us to say, are you submitting again this year? Because it has the best reviews ever. It's going to be that smooth 360 support. If you need to ruche it down a little, you're never going to lose anything on the front. This is the one to get. Grab it in black and grab it in basic beiges to match your natural skin color, because then literally I could pile all this up and I just refreshed your entire wardrobe. And I can guarantee you, if your drawer's like mine, it's very narrow and very skinny. This is all you have. This is all you need. All that. Just like that. That's all you need to refresh your intimate drawer with Rhonda Shear. I'm Jamie, and I'll see you on Tuesday.